It very much is.
Harbaugh upset or what?
No.
No, I'm pissed off at Fred, actually.
Oh, at Fred? Oh, I thought you said somebody said Harbaugh.
Tom, you have been well documented over the years talking about if a player does one thing good and does it all the time, that's great. Matt McQuaid's known as a shooter, but his defense has gone exponentially higher this year. Am I being fair?
Yeah. You know, Matt, we thought he was always a decent defender. We just never realized it, but I think he turned it up a notch. And I still think, though, you're going to see Josh turning up a notch, too. I think, you know, we're looking at all the little things that we think we got to improve on. You know, we're talking about Jaron running, getting even in better shape, or Nick and Gavin with their free throws. But one thing defensively, we got to make sure that our offense doesn't dictate our defense. It's done that with Josh a few times. It's done that with Nick a few times. We got to make sure we're playing this end of the court at a high level if this end of the court isn't going as well. And that's kind of one of the things we talked and harped on in our meeting this morning and our practice this afternoon.
Tom, ever since that Rutgers game, Nick has been pretty consistent for the most part. Going back to Ohio State now, you talked to him a little bit more about keeping that focus?
Exactly. You know, that's exactly what I mentioned to him today. You know, now we're going to see how much you've grown. You know, are you able to play the game and understand the situation? And you know, it was ridiculous last year. You know, but at the same time, you know, maybe I wasn't in his shoes. So part of the growing process, the way I look at it, and I think you'll see a different Nick. I think you'll see a different Nick in the way he handles things. This time, because he has been pretty damn consistent, and that's kind of what we're looking for.
We saw the little baseline jumper from him last night too. We haven't seen much of. How much has he been working on that?
He's been working on his shot a little more from 15 feet and in. DJ and him, they've been working on that, and when he starts floating, if he stays solid, he you know, doesn't always look the best. You know, he's still working on that, but he gets a good hand through it, and he got good hand through both of those. And I thought it looked pretty good.
It seems like so many of Jaron's fouls are kind of fluky, you know, away from the play sort of stuff. What's the key for him to avoiding that?
Yeah, you know, typical freshman fouls. When I say that, I mean, you know, he had one that Miles caused that was a moving screen. It was really close. The one with the push in the back I thought was question mark, but here's what I'll say about him. He hasn't learned yet when you have a skinny body, which he did till he got here, you know, at 222, at 6'11". You have a tendency to play with your arms on and not use your body. Now that he's grown into this new body that, you know, everybody tries to protect their body with their arms. And anytime you extend arms, especially that have a 7'4" reach, you know, you're going to get called for that. So he's got to learn to play more with his body and wedge guys out instead of playing with his arms. Which, even though I think that was question mark, that's what happens when you play with your arms.
What stands out on film to you about the Buckeyes?
Well, he's done a good job, but what stands out the most is realizing what they had. You know, both their guards, Jackson and Wichita, are back. You know, one's a senior, one's a Cam, and one's a junior. Their two best players are guys that were good players last year but got hurt in the middle of the year. And you know, especially Tate, and of course Diop's having a hell of a year, but he was a pretty good player as a freshman, had to get stronger, had to do the same thing Jaron's had to do in some ways, and I just think that when you look at him, there's three seniors, there's a redshirt junior in Diop, and they're a lot more experienced group. I think Chris has done a great job, but I also think people don't realize that that wasn't the team Thad had last year either. And then sometimes when you lose a guy, there's addition by subtraction. So this is a very good team. It's one that I don't think people realized how good Tate and Diop, and we happened to recruit. We didn't recruit Tate, but we did recruit Diop, and he was a hell of a player.
This is the longest winning streak for you guys since 2011, 2012. What's been the biggest factor or key during this streak for you guys?
I think we bought into being very good defensively, even better than 11 and 12. And so we're pretty good defensively. I think the depth, when we wear people down a little bit by playing a lot of depth, it's it's been more consistent. So I think consistency might be one of our keys, solid defense and consistency. And yet, got to get so much better at our cutouts and with consistency there. You know, Jaron and Miles going to the offensive boards more, consistency there. Those are the consistent things that we're still not doing, but keeps me working.
The Piscataway got pretty loud there at times. Do you think Columbus could be a little bit of a challenge for you guys?
I do. I think that's right. This is our second true road game. I think it could. I think, you know, anytime anybody has a number one team and it goes in somewhere, it's going to be double 4th of July and Christmas, you know. And right now they're all excited about their team and should be. And they had a good end to their football season, so everybody's, I think, going to be jacked up for a team that's playing at a high level right now and a team that's coming in that's ranked high. So, yeah, I think it's going to be hopping. And CBS Day and all the things that go along with it. So I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to learn more about my team again. You know, I said it last night. I'm going to say it again this week.
Last year, Nick, when you go back there, did he struggle with that environment? I mean, does he do anything different? Have you talked anything about him about doing anything differently?
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'll talk to him more tomorrow. And of course, the day of the game. I mean, I don't think it was the environment of the fans. It was, you know, I think Nick felt slighted that he wasn't recruited there, so he was going to prove a point. It worked for them, you know. You can't do that. I mean, and it depends who you are. Some people can use that kind of. Scott Skiles could use that to his T. That's not Nick. Adrian Payne, right? That's not Nick right now. As a freshman, it wasn't Nick. He doesn't have to prove anything. He's done enough that everybody knows he's a good player. And I think you'll see a different Nick. I really do. I think he's matured a lot from last year to this year, from early this year to now. You know, he's continuously maturing, and I think you'll see a different Nick that hopefully what he is excited about playing them, not, you know, have a negative chip on his shoulder.
Have you seen? I got to be honest, that thing's creepy, man.
Yeah, I got to be honest, it is creepy. But I think all wax things are creepy, you know. And so I saw it a little bit. Good one, good one. I saw it a little bit the first time. They brought it in a couple times. They're tweaking it. I think they still got some tweaking to do. But I just looked at it for a quick second because I'm like you. It was a little strange. Concept is good, just a little strange.
Might be a little taller too. I don't know.
I don't think so. I looked at it real close, eye to eye. So I don't think so.